Recently, I was asked by Orin Industries to do a piece for their lobby, an abstract piece that would tell their story. When I was approached, what they said was that they wanted to add some color. Like a lot of industrial locations, you've got a lot of grays and a lot of whites, but there isn't really that much color. The way that I usually handle a commission is I sit down with the client first and find out what exactly it is that they want and whether or not I'm a good fit for them. I'll go to their location, whether it is a home or a facilities, and I'll get a tour just to get a feeling of what that place means and what the meaning behind the artwork really needs to be in order for it to be the perfect fit for the location. Not only to be the perfect fit for the location, but to also bring added life to the space. When I'm meeting with people in their home, it's slightly different. You go into a much more personal thing as far as like what you want the artwork to say. When you're dealing with a company, you're dealing with several different people, so you have to understand what the story of the company as a whole wants to say. What is it that they're most proud of? What is it that they want to achieve? What are their hopes and aspirations? What is their mission statement? What is their core values? What kind of mission do they want their company to represent? Honestly, I was like a kid in a candy store walking around their facilities because it was just these giant rolls of paper bigger than my car. And all I could think of was like, man, this is awesome. Basically, what I do whenever I get a commission like that is I will draw up several designs or a concept of design, and this was what I had come up with. It was something that was going to add color. The fact that they're on the Gulf Coast, you have this cool sunset, like an abstract sunset over the ocean. Here in this space here, I wanted to tell their story of the production of paper, transportation, and then their end users. They have some very well-known names as customers around the world. It's definitely something that they're proud of. Because of the nature of their product, I wanted to utilize that heavy in the piece that would be representing them in their lobby. I started layering paper layer after layer after layer in order to tell the story. After layering all the paper and getting all the necessary texture that I wanted, that's when I started adding layers of paint, and the paint was very transparent so you could still see all the layers of paper underneath. And then after that there were several more layers, and it was finally time to bring it to a cohesive end. One of the fun things that I found about their company is that they had a passion for paper. That's the way that they put it in their newsletter. I love that. I wanted to try and emphasize that in the piece. Through the background of the piece, you have the story with the different shapes, abstract shapes and objects that tell the story of creation, transportation, and end user. In the very background, you have the entire piece being made up of their products and of what they create and all the different companies that come together to make them successful. And then you have the passion for paper that just shows that this entire piece is created from that paper and all the different cogs and all the different things that came together to make it possible. It's a piece that makes you stop and appreciate the amount of cooperation that takes place for that entire thing to come together. The last step in my process is to take the piece to the location, make sure that it's hung exactly the way that I intended for it to be hung, and step back and just appreciate it. I'm happy to say that they loved it, and I love it, and I am very excited to have finished that piece for them. So